Worst tornadoes in world history. When a natural disaster occurs, it can have extremely negative repercussions and result in a loss of significant amount of property. Additionally, they can put people at risk of suffering severe injuries, and in the most extreme cases, they can potentially put people's lives at risk. Tornadoes are an example of a phenomenon that can lead to these kinds of problems. These are extremely dangerous storms that begin as a thunderstorm and then develop into rotating columns of air that can produce wind rates of up to 300 kilometers per hour. Some tornadoes cause relatively little damage as they move over the ocean or through large tracts of land, but others impact highly populated regions and have catastrophic results. Hey, welcome back to Techverse, everybody. We have got for you the top tornadoes that were the scariest. The following is a list of the top 15 deadliest tornadoes in the history of the world. Let's dive into the video. On the list, at number 15, we've got a tornado from the USA. 255 people lost their lives in Missouri in the United States in 1896. On May 27th of that year, 255 individuals lost their lives in the cities of St. Louis and East St. Louis in the state of Missouri. On the Fujita scale, this storm produced an F4 tornado after it spawned from a supercell. It is thought that the actual number of fatalities is closer to 400, despite the fact that the official death toll is 255. This discrepancy can be attributed to the poor record keeping that took place at the time the tornado struck. It is estimated that the tornado caused a loss of $10 million in property. Number 14. 263 people lost their lives in the Comilla earthquake in Bangladesh in 1969. The large number of fatalities that were caused by this tornado can be linked to a mix of factors, including a dense population and an ineffective early warning system, both of which are regular issues in Bangladesh. This tornado took place on April 14, 1969, the same day as another tornado struck East Pakistan, which is ranked 4th on this list. In spite of the fact that they both took place on the same day in the same region of the world, they were caused by two different storms. Number 13, Haripur and Bakua, Bangladesh, 1972. This tornado's high death toll was partially caused by Bangladesh's inadequate early warning system, as was the case with many earlier tornadoes that have occurred in Bangladesh. Due to the fact that this estimate does not take into consideration the deaths of those who lived in shanty towns, it is quite likely that the actual number of fatalities is significantly higher than 300. This is due to the fact that these people frequently do not have records of their existence, making it impossible to account for their deaths when they pass away. Number 12, India/Bangladesh, 1963, 300 fatalities. The area north of Cooch Behar and its surroundings was hit by a massive tornado on April 19, 1963. It was reported that debris was sent flying as far as 30 miles. The official death count was 300, although some records show only 139 deaths, and other reports suggest that many people's deaths were not officially recorded. Number 11, Natchez, Mississippi, United States, 1840, 317 fatalities. The tornado that hit Natchez in Mississippi on May 6, 1840 is often referred to as the Great Natchez Tornado. It was one of the worst tornadoes to ever hit the United States with a death toll of 317. The tornado, which was retroactively classed as an F5, swept along the Mississippi River, ripping away the forests on both sides of the banks. Many people who died in this disaster were those living on flatboats that were sucked up by the tornado and then tossed aside. The official death toll is not accurate, as many slaves living on plantations in the area were killed, and they were not included in the official records. Number 10, Balino, Byelnyetsky, and Ivanovo, Russia, 1984, 400 fatalities. This tornado was rated as somewhere between an F4 and F5 on the Fujita scale. It was powerful enough to disintegrate reinforced concrete. The tornado was part of a serious outbreak just north of Moscow that included severe thunderstorms. In addition to the tornado, the area was pelted with hailstones that were recorded as weighing up to 2.2 pounds. Number 9, Yangtze River, China, 2015, 442 fatalities. The tornado that hit the Yangtze River is an unusual case because it caused 442 fatalities, even though it was only F1 on the Fujita scale. The main reason for the high death toll is that a cruise ship was sailing down the river at the time, and it got caught up in the tornado, killing many of those on board. This event took place on June 1st, 2015, and it's still under investigation. The main reason for the investigation is that other ships on the river received a warning and took appropriate action, but the cruise ship did not. Number 8. Madripur and Shibchar, Bangladesh, 1977, 500 fatalities. On April 1, 1977, a tornado tore through Madripur and Shibpur in Bangladesh. In the wake of the tornado, 500 people were killed. It also destroyed every home and building in these areas, although there are no official figures relating to the financial damage. Number 7, Sicily, Italy, 1851, 500 fatalities. Another tornado that caused 500 deaths is the one that hit the Italian island of Sicily on December 8, 1851. Known as Tornado Sicily, this tornado was formed by two waterspouts that were accompanied by a hurricane. The area most affected was the town of Castamare. It is the second worst tornado in European history. Number 6, Narail and Magura districts, Bangladesh, 1964, 500 fatalities. 7 villages were completely erased by this tornado, which occurred April 11, 1964. The worst affected area was a small village called Bainyanpur, which was completely obliterated with no survivors. Although the official number killed in the incident is 500, there is conflicting information, and some records show that as many as 1,400 people were killed. Number 5, Grand Harbor at Valletta, Malta, 1551, 600 fatalities. The tornado that hit Grand Harbor in Valletta, Malta on September 23, 1551 is the worst recorded tornado in European history. 4 galleys were capsized when a tornado was formed from a waterspout. The galleys were San Michele, San Claudio, San Filippo, and Santa Fe. The town of Valletta didn't actually exist until 1566, which is much later than the tornado. Despite this, the tornado is referred to as the Tornado of Valletta due to the area it hit. Number 4, East Pakistan, 1969, 660 deaths. The East Pakistan tornado happened on April 14, 1969. This is the same day that a tornado hit Comilla in Bangladesh. Despite sharing the same date, they were unrelated and began from separate storms. Immediately after the tornado happened, the death toll was recorded as over 1,000. However, this was later amended to 660 according to the official records. A shanty town called Dimra was the most badly affected area, as the wind speeds that hit this town was recorded at 90 miles per hour, which is more than powerful enough to cause a significant level of devastation to property. Number 3, Nawabganj, Singher, and Manikanj, Bangladesh, 1973, 691 fatalities. Ranking in the 3rd position is the tornado that caused devastation in Bangladesh on April 17, 1973. The areas that were hit included Manikanj, Singher, and Nawabganj. The worst affected area was a village called Baluchar, which was completely wiped out by the tornado. 9 other towns were also severely damaged. According to various witnesses, the tornado began as 2 smaller funnels that joined together to create one large tornado. One witness report claims that a boat holding 3 passengers was tossed more than 3,000 feet from the riverbanks. The severity of this tornado is measured on the number of fatalities alone, as there are no records showing the financial damage. Number 2, Tri-State, the United States, 1925, 695 fatalities. Not only was the Tri-State tornado of 1925 the second most devastating tornado in the world, but it's also the worst tornado in the history of the United States. In addition to the 695 people who were killed in this natural disaster, there were also 2,027 people injured. The tornado occurred on March 18, 1925, and it traveled over 300 miles across Indiana, Illinois, and Missouri. The winds reached 260 miles per hour, so it was ranked as an F5 tornado on the Fujita scale. Number 1. Dawlatpur and Saturnia, Bangladesh, 1989, 1,300 fatalities. According to Thought Company, the Dawlatpur Saturnia tornado that ripped through Bangladesh on April 26, 1989 is the most devastating tornado in history. Bangladesh is one of the countries that are most frequently hit by tornadoes, along with the United States, but nobody could have expected the level of devastation caused by this event. Measuring a mile wide, the storm traveled 50 miles across an area of Bangladesh's Dhaka region. One reason that the death toll reached as high as 1,300 is that the tornado hit an area where people lived in slums that were poorly constructed. Along with the fatalities, 12,000 people were injured and 80,000 people were left homeless. And that's it for today's video. We sincerely hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and share with your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, where you'll see more of our incredible videos. Hey, we look forward to seeing you in the next one, and thanks for watching.